Hey everyone, this is Kevin T. Rodriguez, film critic of iCritic.net, and what a shock, another MoviePass video. I mean, what can I say? It is kind of the lifeblood of this channel at the moment. You guys have been pretty good about watching some of my other stuff though, so thank you so much for watching some of my other videos, but I know that this is what most of you are here for. And I have to admit, I'm doing this story as a little bit of trepidation, if only because, first of all, I know a lot of you are going to react very, very poorly to it, and you're going to bring up the whole, MoviePass shill, MoviePass fanboy, and yeah, I guess that's just unavoidable. But also because I don't think this is a story. I don't think it's a story, and yet this is what popped up on my newsfeed, and I got a lot of comments from people saying they wanted me to cover it. So, I guess we're going to talk about it, but guys, spoiler alert, this is a nothing burger. This is truly a nothing burger, regardless how much you want you want it to be. So let's look at this Hollywood Reporter article. And the headline is, MoviePass poll, customer satisfaction plummets, nearly half consider bolting. This is an exclusive, which I don't think it's actually an exclusive when the fact that a lot of people want to cancel MoviePass is kind of fairly common knowledge. This is almost like a headline that you would have read like news. Half of the audience who watched Star Wars Episode 1 hate Jar Jar Binks. Not news, but whatever. Let's continue reading. So it says, in its second survey of the theater subscription service, NRG finds that many patrons no longer find the embattled company trustworthy or reliable. Yeah. This spring, a resounding 83% of MoviePass patrons were more satisfied with the company than any other monthly subscription service. Think Netflix. Well, let's back up for a second there. I mean, this is kind of true, sort of not. MoviePass has actually always had issues with the customer service. It just always has. But here's the thing. A lot of people loved the service. I mean, if you look back to February, March, even shortly after they dropped the price from $50 to $9.95, people were never saying anything good about MoviePass, or very little good about the company. The customer service always sucked. They didn't like the transparency, and in some cases, they didn't even like how they, openly admitted, yeah, our goal is to, in a sense, nudge the movie theaters into giving concession money to us, which some people considered bullying. They were never happy with MoviePass as a company, but they were happy with free movies, because let's face it, MoviePass was essentially giving you free movies. That's why people loved it. 83% clearly were happy with that. Now they're not giving away few movies, we're just hearing the unhappiness even a lot louder, so that's a little misleading, but continuing. 4 months later, that number has plummeted to 48%, according to a follow-up survey by National Research Group, and nearly half of the MoviePass customers polled, or 47%, are considering canceling their membership, ranging from very to somewhat likely, while 37% say they are sticking around. The first NRG poll was conducted for The Hollywood Reporter when MoviePass was flying relatively high. The now embattled company has seen its subscriber base quickly exceed 2 million, before approaching a reported 3 million after offering moviegoers a chance to see one movie a day for the low price of $9.95 per month. And of course, at one point, it even dropped to $6.95. Now, MoviePass appears to be on life support after bleeding money. In late July, the company raised its monthly prices to $14.95 and began limiting first-run movies. I'm gonna pause them right there. That is technically not true. Yes, they announced that was going to happen, but they didn't actually do it. That is definitely misleading wording. I mean, if you're gonna at least, MoviePass has done so much wrong, you don't need to be making stuff up. That if you want any proof that the media just wants to, crap all over MoviePass and get your eyeballs, and they will report whatever they want, no matter how banal the story is. There's your proof right there. They can't even get that simple fact straight. So continuing. Days later, the rules changed yet again. MoviePass announced it was keeping its monthly fee at $9.95, but reduced the number of titles a patron could see to up to 3 per month. Actually, it was 6 when they started. Now it's up to 9, I hear. I haven't needed to use MoviePass for a little while, but, That applies to those who have paid for an annual subscription. Yeah, that's true. MoviePass's innovations was offering the freedom and flexibility to see any movie at any time at almost any theater for a low price, says NRG CEO John Penn. By constantly changing the terms of service, limiting which films subscribers could see and when they could see them, MoviePass has eroded brand trust and undermined their leadership position. In mid-August, NRG surveyed 1,550 moviegoers about MoviePass. That's it. That's not even a full % of the subscribers. Those polled included 424 MoviePass customers and 100 customers who had recently canceled their MoviePass subscription. Half of those who canceled had done so in the month prior to the NRG poll. The chief reason for doing so were continual rule changes and not being able to see a movie of choice. For those who remain, brand problems and negative headlines have left many feeling that MoviePass isn't reliable or trustworthy, according to NRG. I don't dispute that feeling, by the way. It's unclear how many subscribers the service presently has or how many it has lost. Well, we're going to talk about that because there's another study that gives us a little bit better idea what that might actually be, and the answer might surprise you. Wall Street remains skeptical as to MoviePass's future, the proof being that shares of parent company Helios and Matheson Analytics have been decimated, probably killing any chances it could raise $1.2 billion to grow MoviePass through acquisitions, a goal it had outlined in an SEC filing. That's probably true. Despite MoviePass's recent difficulties, the NRG survey found there is still a healthy appetite for movie ticket subscriptions, with 39% of moviegoers expressing definite interest in a sustainable plan. One example, 23% of the total pool polled by NRG said they are in favor of AMC Theaters' $19.95 monthly plan, allowing customers to see 3 movies per month in any format. They got that wrong too. It's 3 movies per week. God, for having an exclusive story, they're not getting their facts straight. There remains immense opportunity and moviegoer appetite for innovation in movie ticket buying, says Penn. Future services that offer value, flexibility, and convenience in an economically viable way will help drive moviegoing to new heights. That's true. Now, here's a little chart that they did, and maybe that will be the thumbnail for this video. I don't know. I haven't decided. But, okay, so that's the thing. Now, that sounds really bad, but let's look at that headline. Just look at that headline and tell me what's wrong with it. Figured it out yet? Here's the thing. Nearly half consider bolting. This was an article, an exclusive article that said nearly half the people are unhappy with the service, which is true, and nearly half are considering canceling, which is probably also true. But that's not even the news story. Here's the story. The story is actually that they have ticked so many people off and half are only considering. Because here's the thing, there is a huge difference. A very, 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 very huge difference between actually canceling and considering canceling. And at least one survey showed that actually people are probably not canceling to the extent you probably think or hope. Like, let's switch over here to Android headlines, where it says studies suggest MoviePass subscriber numbers largely unaffected. And this is where the real story is, because here's the thing. As much as I still love MoviePass, as much as I hope it succeeds, I am not going to deny people are not happy with the service. I see it all the time in my inbox, and at least more than half of my viewers say that they've canceled. I don't know if that's true, but I don't have a whole lot of reason to doubt them, but this article does show that it might not be as widespread as my little bubble suggested it was going to be. So you go down, it says, in spite of recent circumstances surrounding MoviePass, a new study suggests that impact on the movie subscription service has been minimal, and in some respects, MoviePass has actually seen user growth during its turbulent period. The data on this comes from Trim, a financial management service which looks to save its customers money on varying subscription-related services. Trim's purpose is relevant here, as Trim states the data used to form these suggestions is based on an analyst of about 200 million transactions of our users over the last 6 months. That's a heck of a lot more than 1,548, I think is what it was. Using this data, Trim suggests the level of cancellations experienced by MoviePass was nowhere near the level the media and social media might have suggested. In fact, the worst case scenario occurred in June, when by this point only 3% of subscribers had canceled their subscription. This is a figure relative to the past 6 months and not just June alone, suggesting that while the majority of that 3% left in June, it still only represented 3% over a 6-month period. Adding to that, the results of the study suggest the number of Trim's users who also have a MoviePass subscription grew by 29%. That's pretty impressive. That is a long way from. Now let's go down here. So as you can see, there's that chart. Now there is a few things we should be noting about this study. First of all, no study is 100% accurate, and the numbers can usually be fudged however you want it to be. Hence why we have one report saying one thing, another report saying another. And it should be noted that this study doesn't include August, which is where MoviePass has had the most struggles, clearly. So, but yeah, that's the thing. Trim says that there's not a lot of cancellations. MoviePass keeps bragging over 3 million subscribers. Even that first article you looked at, it said that they polled all these people, and like they said, half were considering canceling it. They hadn't actually canceled it. And of like some 500 people that they talked to, 100 canceled. And then there were still 447 that kept it. So however you look at it, the majority of people are keeping it. Now, how long can that last? I don't know. But maybe there was something to Mitch Lowe's claims that 12 to 15% of the subscribers were the problem. And those 12 to 15% would clearly be the first to leave and go to AMC as fast as possible. But the rest of the people, if they are going to 1 or 2 movies a weekend, like, hey, like this weekend, the Happy Time Murder Mysteries, which was a new release, that's one of the movies you can see. Maybe they really are okay with the plan, and maybe MoviePass will be fine. We don't know for sure, and they still have a long, long way to go before they gain anything close to, healthy growth again, so to speak. And even with the people who have kept them, their reputation's in the mud. But basically, when you see these stories that say MoviePass is in trouble because all these people are considering canceling, I don't care. That's not a story. And if they're considering it, yeah, they're considering it. They haven't actually done it. This is, by the way, a far cry from when Netflix raised their price from like $10 a month to $18 a month for their DVD and streaming service, and they saw like a 40% cancellation rate. That wasn't people considering to cancel. That was people who canceled. MoviePass hasn't had that mass walkout yet, which shows just how much people like the idea of the product and are probably willing to stick with it through some growing pains. Now, do I personally think people will be willing to put up with it past September? No, I think September is probably the last of the grace period, and if they don't, at the very least, make so that you can see any 3 movies you want, then there's a real problem at that point. But until then, they're still doing fine for the most part. I mean, fine, all things considered. They haven't lost that many subscribers. It doesn't seem like a lot of people are actually canceling. And, of course, I don't know why the media seems so intent on this service failing. I mean, they were certainly a lot nicer to AMC and Cinemia, and they were essentially the same service, just a little bit more limited. But MoviePass never got a, forgive the pun, a pass. And then of course, they get way more of a pass. But in this case, I think it's worth noting this is not a news story, but they are still wildly unpopular with a lot of their changes, and we're just going to have to see if they survive past September. But a lot of people said 3 weeks ago, if they were still in business for 1 more week, it'd be a miracle. Well, now we're just going to have to see, because I saw another person say that they would be dead by October. And I hope they at least get beyond that just to prove that person wrong. But anyway, that's my thoughts. What about you guys? Do you agree with these articles? Do you disagree? I would love to know. So comment below, like, favorite, share, subscribe. If you enjoy my videos, consider becoming a Patreon member. It's totally optional, but even as little $1 a month goes a long way to helping the channel run smoothly. And as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one.